The NFL Draft is one of the most important days on the NFL calendar. Its popularity has grown immensely over the years as teams gather around to draft prospects with the hopes to help booster their roster. And while the draft is pretty much a hit or miss, getting your picks correctly can have a huge upside on an organization. But miss horribly, and this can set your team back a few years, and in some cases, decades. In the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints sought out to address some of the team's issues. From 3 consecutive 7-9 seasons, the team quickly became perennial playoff contenders as they won the NFC South the next 4 seasons. And this was a team that struggled mightily on defense, ranking 28th or worse for 4 of the last 5 seasons prior to the draft. But after that draft, this team simply turned it around. Under the offensive-minded Sean Payton and veteran QB Drew Brees, the Saints were fairly strong in the offensive department prior to the draft. In 2016, Brees led the passing attack with his 5th 5,000-yard season, mainly due to the fact that the offensive line was able to keep the QB upright throughout the year. In the skill positions, the offense featured its first 1,000-yard rusher in Mark Ingram since Deuce McAllister in 2006. While in receiving, the tandem of the speedy Brandon Cooks and rookie phenom Michael Thomas, New Orleans were very deep with pass catchers. Add on top of that Willie Snead, who had almost 900 receiving yards, and tight end Kobe Fleener, the Saints had an all-around potent offensive attack. But as mentioned earlier, where the problems lied were on defense. Although the team slightly improved from the season before, they were missing a much-needed middle linebacker, even with the under-the-radar signing of Craig Robertson, who filled in admirably out of position in the Saints' linebacker core. Defensive coordinator Dennis Allen also had issues with the secondary due to injuries, but still held things together by instilling the next man up mentality to get through the season. And finally, on special teams, this was one of the main Achilles heels for the Saints in 2016, costing them at least 3 games versus the Giants, Broncos, and Panthers. In New York, a blocked kick led to a return touchdown by Janoris Jenkins, and against the Broncos with less than 2 minutes remaining and potentially kicking the game-winning extra point, the Broncos defense blocked the extra point and returned it for 2 for a shocking 25-23 win. Then in the following week, a block kick played a role in the Saints' defeat to their division rivals, the Carolina Panthers. All in all, it was a season to forget for special teams and an underlying issue they'd have to address in the offseason. At the end of the campaign, many of the assistant coaches who started out with Sean Payton a decade earlier have been let go as changes had to be made. Wide receiver Brandon Cooks forced a trade out of the Big Easy to Foxborough as the Saints got a first-round pick in return. With New Orleans finishing the 2016 campaign 3rd in the NFC South, they held the number 11th overall pick heading into the 2017 draft. And it's here where the Saints would go on to use the next 3 days in the draft to select 7 players who'd go on to affect the trajectory of the team over the course of the next 4 or 5 seasons. Guys, before we continue, do me a favor. If you're digging this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps promote the video across the YouTube algorithm.
With the 11th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans select Marshawn Lattimore, defensive back, Ohio State.
Before making the announcement to draft the corner, Andy Reid made the Saints' decision easier as he had both Patrick Mahomes and Marshawn Lattimore as the 2 best players left on the draft board. Kansas City had traded up from the 27th pick with the Buffalo Bills in order to secure the services of the Texas Tech QB. And while hindsight is 2020, drafting Mahomes would have been a move for the future, while Lattimore was what the team needed immediately. Although the former Buckeyes corner was limited to a single year of starting experience and a history of hamstring injuries, he came into that Saints defense in his rookie year and really made an immediate impact. He would routinely line up against the opposing team's best receiver and came up big in clutch moments, like the time he picked off Mitchell Trubisky with a game-sealing pick. Marshon Lattimore in his rookie campaign started 13 games and recorded 18 pass deflections, 5 interceptions, 1 defensive TD, and a forced fumble. Pro Football Focus had his rookie season as one of the highest graded seasons for a cornerback since Darrelle Revis, and he would be named to the Pro Bowl as well as winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. During his 5 seasons in New Orleans, Lattimore has become the clear leader on the secondary and is easily a top 10 player in his position. As a 4-time Pro Bowler, he has helped the Saints make huge strides on defense and was rewarded with a new 5-year, $97 million extension last season. In total, 34 cornerbacks were selected in the draft, and here are the list of a few other notables.
With the 32nd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Ryan Ramczyk, tackle, Wisconsin.
Projected to be a first-round pick, Saints GM Mickey Loomis and head coach Sean Payton used the draft pick they received from the Brandon Cooks trade to draft right tackle Ryan Ramczyk. With Drew Brees getting up there in age, they needed someone who could help shore up the front line and keep the QB upright during games. Ryan was largely regarded as the best tackle in the draft, and he made his debut in the season opener against Minnesota playing left tackle while filling in for the injured Teron Armstead. In his rookie campaign, Ramczyk was named on the PFWA All-Rookie team after starting all 16 games. From 2018 to 2020, he was named All-Pro, but it wasn't until 2019 when the tackle didn't allow a single sack and would be the highest graded offensive tackle by Pro Football Focus. Considered to be a top 10 tackle in the league, Ryan Ramczyk was rewarded with a 5-year, $96 million extension last year, making him the highest paid right tackle in the league. 16 offensive tackles would be drafted in 2017, with the only other notable tackle being Jaguars' Cam Robinson, who recently signed a 3-year, $54 million extension.
With the 42nd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Marcus Williams, defensive back, Utah.
Marcus Williams was the 6th safety selected in the draft. Needing a ton of help in the secondary, Williams was initially brought in to compete with Von Bell. Eventually, he took over the starting position, making his first career start in the season opener and started 15 games in 2017. Marcus recorded 4 interceptions and broke up an additional 7 passes as he was selected to the PFWA All-Rookie team. His importance to the Saints defense that season cannot be underestimated. He was one of the main catalysts for the turnaround in Dennis Allen's D, but was maybe overshadowed by one other member of his draft class. That being said, New Orleans got more than they could have asked for with Marcus Williams. The Saints needed a center fielder with ball hawking abilities, and Williams proved to be that guy. And while one play doesn't define a player's career, most remember the safety for his gaffe in the playoff game in Minnesota where he missed a tackle on Stephon Diggs, leading to the game-winning touchdown. After 5 seasons in the Big Easy, Marcus became a free agent and recently signed a 5-year, $70 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens. And here are the lists of other notable safeties drafted in 2017.
With the 67th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Alvin Kamara, running back, Tennessee.
The Saints elected to draft a skill position in the 3rd round with Tennessee running back Alvin Kamara. He was a projected 2nd-round pick and graded the 4th best running back by most experts. The scouting report on the running back was that he was a playmaker in both the run and pass game. With an explosive first step, combined with his elusiveness and reliable hands, Kamara was going to be a nightmare for opposing defenses. When the rookie joined the Saints in his first season, he was entering a crowded backfield that included the likes of Mark Ingram and Adrian Peterson. However, Alvin quickly established himself by impressing coaches as he was clearly the better option than AP through the first 4 games. This ultimately led Peterson to be deemed expendable as New Orleans traded him to the Arizona Cardinals. From then on, the tandem of Kamara and Ingram would go on to shred NFL defenses in 2017. The Saints had a new option in attack with Kamara's playmaking ability in the screen game, and his ability to run between the tackles or take it outside frustrated many defenders. The running back finished his rookie campaign amassing over 1,500 scrimmage yards, 13 touchdowns, while posting an incredible 6.1 yards per carry. This campaign was recognized by voters as he won the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, along with being selected second-team All-Pro and Pro Bowl honors. Throughout his time in New Orleans, Alvin Kamara became one of the main threats on offense. The running back continued to post huge numbers, helping the Saints dominate the NFC South over the course of the next 4 seasons. The organization understood how important Alvin was to the team's success and rewarded him with an early extension in 2020 before the final year of his rookie contract. A total of 26 running backs were selected in the draft, with a few notable players.
With the 76th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Alex Anzalone, linebacker, Florida.
With his size and athleticism, Alex Anzalone could fit into any defensive scheme. On top of that, he had experience playing all 3 linebacker spots. However, there were concerns about his durability. In his rookie season, the linebacker started 4 games, but suffered a season-ending shoulder injury in Week 4 against the Dolphins. He'd go on to play all 16 games in 2018 before undergoing shoulder surgery in Week 2 of the 2019 season, ending his campaign prematurely. Eventually, the linebacker would end up as a free agent in 2021, and it would be the Detroit Lions who'd go on to sign Anzalone. All in all, when healthy, Alex Anzalone played pretty exceptional. Being the 10th linebacker taken in 2017, he carved out a decent NFL career and just re-signed with the Lions on a 1-year deal. And a total of 29 linebackers were drafted in 2017.
With the 103rd pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Trey Hendrickson, defensive end, Florida Atlantic.
Needing another defensive end to line up opposite of Cameron Jordan, the Saints drafted Trey Hendrickson in the 3rd round. While many projected they would use one of their earlier picks, Hendrickson moved further up the NFL draft boards with his standout performances in postseason workouts and the NFL Combine. While missing preseason due to injury, Trey quickly became a part of the Saints' defensive line rotation once healthy. However, the pass rusher found a pretty crowded room of defensive ends in New Orleans. In 2018, the team added Marcus Davenport to a group that already had Alex Okafor, and it wouldn't be until the 2019 season when Trey began to come out of his shell as he finished the campaign recording 4.5 sacks and a forced fumble. He would piggyback off of the success as he headed into the final year of his rookie contract. In 2020, Trey Hendrickson had a breakout year and dominated the NFL. He recorded 13.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the league with Aaron Donald, and 1.5 sacks behind Steelers linebacker TJ Watt. Trey would parlay this remarkable 2020 campaign into a huge 4-year, $60 million contract with the Cincinnati Bengals after hitting free agency in the offseason. And in his first season with the Bengals, the linebacker picked up where he left off in New Orleans as he finished with 14 sacks and 3 forced fumbles, earning him his first ever Pro Bowl nod. A total of 26 defensive ends were selected in 2017, with Myles Garrett being the most notable.
With the 196th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select
Al-Quadin Muhammad, defensive end, Miami.
In the 6th round, the Saints selected another defensive end in Al-Quadin Muhammad. Coming out of Miami, Muhammad debuted in the season opener against Minnesota and played sparingly in his rookie season. Prior to the start of the 2018 season, the defensive end was waived by the Saints but was claimed off waivers by the Indianapolis Colts. He's the only draftee from this class to not have played out his rookie contract in New Orleans. However, in Indianapolis, Al-Quadin found a home for himself and played 4 seasons with the Colts and even started all 17 games in 2021. As a full-time starter, he recorded 6 sacks and 13 quarterback hits. After his time in Indy came to an end, Muhammad signed a 2-year deal with the Chicago Bears. So with those 7 draft picks, the New Orleans Saints were able to turn their organization around after 3 consecutive 7-9 seasons. They addressed a lot of the issues on defense and picked up a really dynamic running back in Alvin Kamara. So this just goes to show you how a team can work the draft to really make improvements on a roster. New Orleans drafted so well in 2017 that their picks ultimately outpriced their stay in the Big Easy. Ideally, the Saints would have loved to keep all their draft picks, but being in the salary cap mess they're in right now kind of restricted them. Nonetheless, what they accomplished in this draft class was truly remarkable. For 6 of the 7 players to play out their rookie contracts in New Orleans and for all 7 players to still be in the league is mind-blowing. Add on top of that all the individual accolades they've collectively received, and this draft haul is nothing short of being one of the greatest ever that I can remember.